You're not picking me up? You can't hear me? So we just came back from Istanbul yesterday. Better? So we just came back from Istanbul yesterday where we had an internal kickoff, if you like, of the Fring Alliance, which I would like in the next 20 seconds. I will try to behave and keep on time to give you an overview of Fring Alliance and what we think about it. And I will appreciate your feedback. And Dean always has feedback, so I'll appreciate the feedback as well. And we keep meeting each other all the time. So the reason we have some insights is because we were talking to so many carriers all the time, and this is some of the carriers that we're working with. And this is, by the way, Nifty, which we just launched last week in Japan. And basically in the last, as Alan said, since joining Fring and since being acquired by Genban, we're talking to and working with carriers all the time, and we're getting feedback from the market, and we're suggesting these ideas, and some of those ideas are stupid, and some of those ideas are idiotic, and others succeed, and others have failed, but we constantly get flow of information. And what we're starting to understand, and this is my wording, so you probably wouldn't see it on any analyst report, is the following kind of insights, if you like. And again, this is my own personal view, so you're welcome to challenge it in any way, right? It's a commoditized. Basically, the value of minute is 0. It's perceived as it's table stakes. If you don't have it, you're done. OTTs are moving beyond real-time communication to generate value. Now, I'm pretty sure WeChat, Skype, Line, you're all familiar with those. WeChat is at the point, and they're doing an amazing job, well respect to them, that they are willing to subsidize communication to get the ecosystem working, right? So we kind of moved beyond. Now, not all the time, not every time, but that's the mind. And second, OTTs are closed gardens. And my prediction, and I will not be willing to sign any documents that ratifies this, but I guess in the next 24, 36 months, they will still be closed gardens. They do not want to federate. It's against their DNA. It's against their business models. Real-time communication OTTs content, borderlines are getting blurry. When I'm watching an OTT video or a TV series, and there's commentary from different viewers all over the video channel, right? And with the editors or the celebs that are performing in the video. Is this content or this real-time communication? Where exactly is the borderline? It's getting blurry, and I think it's a good thing. It's an interesting thing because it's opened up. And video is gaining more and more. Now, I can only share with you that on our platform, on Candy, Genban platform, we see that video is more and more as if we're hanging out together. Like the Hangouts of Google, we're hanging out. So we see kids are doing homework together where the video camera on the laptop is open. And for 3 hours, the video session is on. They might be talking to each other for a few minutes only. Like, how did you answer question number 9? Yeah, right, I did the same, right? So the video curve is going up. Communication services are trying Me Too, are failing miserably. So if there's anyone here who's trying a Me Too strategy or is working for a company who's trying a Me Too strategy, there isn't a single case study, which I'm familiar with, and I might be wrong, so I'll be happy to be educated, that a carrier launched a Me Too strategy that was successful. Successful as in the CEO was, banging on the table. I want to kick WhatsApp ass. Never worked. Will never work because there's no motivation for the users to move from WhatsApp, Viber, Fring, Libon, choose one from whatever they're using and they're happy to use to something else, unless it's different. And what is different, you define. Dime pipes. Well, I use sewage pipes, but our marketing wasn't happy with the terms, so they changed it. Some of the carriers said, okay, you know what, we met. So we're going to have great business. We're just going to sell data to the big players. So we want to be dump pipes. Dump pipes means you use sewage pipes because Apple and Google and Facebook have enough money to do whatever they want. And they will bring you down to the bottom. So if that's your strategy, long-term, good luck. We don't think it will be successful. But again, this is my view, so you're willing to disregard it completely. Bottom line, 3 things. You need to have an OTT strategy. Whatever it is, have an OTT strategy. Every carrier that we meet, we tell guys, forget Fring, forget Genban, forget everything. Have a strategy. Don't play nothing happens. By the time you wake up, you'll be too late. User engagement. It's not about let me squeeze another cent from the user, or let me give you a cheaper minute to India, or a cheaper minute from the US to Europe. That's not. It's about engagement. And post-minute revenue engines. We are thinking about dozens of applications and services that are not based on minutes. I'm in your way? Yeah. I'll move, sorry. That are not based on minutes. For a fact, 97% will fail miserably of those applications and services because we have no freaking idea what will work. Out of the 3% that will actually have some traction, another 70% will have success. Maybe 2 will be really successful. But since we don't know, and since no one knows, let's start playing with it. And let's try. Let's do fast, fail, forward. That's the only thing, if I needed to remember from this short session, fail, fast, forward. Why? Because the telecom mindset of a decade ago is irrelevant in today's economy. That's all. Easier said than done, obviously, right? So what is Fring Alliance? Fring Alliance, in a nutshell, is a federated. And remember, we were white label telecom OTT provider. Platform enabling real-time communication as well as post-minute revenue engines, applications and more, based on APIs and SDKs. The Alliance is owned and directed by its members for roadmap, value-added service initiatives, and go-to-market best practices. Carriers are miserably clueless when it comes to consumer applications. It's not their DNA. Maybe they don't know what to do with it. They're very good as a marketing entity. They know how to build packages. They know how to communicate and do publishing, but when it comes to building application, they're not really there are very few examples which I can say are really good. I think Libon is actually one of the good examples where a carrier initiative was actually really successful. Hi, guys. High five. You owe me coffee afterwards. All right. So what we see is 2 centers of gravities. The first center of gravity, be different. Real-time communication feature is the baseline. If you come up with a service, whatever the platform is, Libon, Fring, Matrix, whatever the platform is, if it doesn't have the baseline, text, voice, video, conferencing, and whatever comes down the line, if you don't have it, you're not in the game. You're in a different game. You're building cars. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not doing OTT. Second, you need to have post-minute revenue engines, and we understand that there are 2 levels, macro and micro. Again, my wording, actually our CEO wording, but I'll take the credit for it. Macro applications means these are services that were initiated as an idea by the partners, by the members, which I'll talk in a second, are now being offered across the line, across all the members of the alliance. An easy example would be SMS, right? Post-OTT world. SMS is available wherever you are, right? So think about the same concept, but on services and applications which are not about real-time communication. Micro apps, again, you take the APIs and SDKs, and you develop, you the carrier, with your developers community, with your developer teams, develop an application that is relevant only for your region. One of the examples, one of our partners in Asia, in China, has come up with an application to do the daily Tai Chi tip of the day with an exercise thing, okay? In Mandarin. How many non-Mandarin speaking users outside of China will use it? No idea. But it's probably not as relevant as other services. Okay? So that's the concept. Baseline, right? As we said, voice, text, video, break-in, break-out, cable, landline, mobile, multi-party video, location, file sharing, screen sharing, any screen, any network, any device. My understanding, that's the base package. If you don't have this, as we said, you're not in the game. You're doing something else. And it's about the user experience. Now, out of curiosity, how many people in the audience have a degree in engineering, some sort? Raise your hand, don't be shy. We still love you. Physics? Physics? Seriously? Doesn't count? Take down your hand. No. Okay. How many do not have degree in engineering of some sort? Physics counts. Raise your hand. Okay, so most of the audience here are uber geeks, right? Would you agree? Therefore, please think very carefully not about yourself when you're designing a service, about the user experience. At the end of the day, technology by itself is not beautiful. It's what it does for the user, for the service provider. If it does it in a way that the user likes it, you're successful. If it's amazingly fast, but I can't access it because it's too complicated, it's futile, right? So federation. Now, federation, all it means actually is we connected OTT clouds. And by design, the way we build up Candy, which is GenBand's platform, and which is based on Fring, it is open via APIs and SDKs. So we love RCS. Not because I have any opinion if it's successful or not. Now, Google purchased it, I really have no idea. But it means that we enable RCS and NI, network-to-network integration. And we love metrics. We think metrics is an awesome idea, and we're really supportive of it. Number one, because I think you guys are doing amazing work. And second, because if it's successful and we're able to federate it, it's for the benefit of everyone. And then we love working with Libon, we love working with WeChat, and whoever. And by the way, we talked to the Viber guys several times, and every time it came down to the same point. OTTs business, the traditional OTTs, or as I like to call them, the legacy OTTs, right, are closed gardens, and they don't want to federate. And we actually, as a concept, as a carrier, telecom OTT, would like to federate. Now, what means federation? It's your brand, it's your pricing and billing, it's your differentiation features, it's your data, and it's your micro apps. So you maintain your user, you maintain your core business, you maintain your pricing, but you're able to communicate and develop and enhance features and capabilities through other networks. That's all. So your users are not confined. And therefore, you can provide them differentiation through the assets that you as a carrier has. And only carriers have certain assets, like owning the number or enabling the number across any device network. Just one of the examples. And for all the geeks in the audience, which is most of the audience, we're doing it via snippets of code, which is APIs and SDKs. Oh, there's a video camera. And this is our platform. Candy platform is designed in a way that bottom up, we're enabling both the OTT, the IP part, and the GSM, PSTN part for the benefit of developers. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with Twilio, right? Twilio, great company, Twilio, okay? Twilio's core DNA is talking and working with the developers at the end, right? And they're doing an amazing job, and it's very easy for even non-developer, non-geek, to develop an application to do communication. Our approach, since we're coming from the telco industry and through the acquisition of Fring and other companies from the OTT strategy, is to go through the developers of the carriers and the enterprises. Same mentality, different approach. Right? So far good? Cool? Sababa? Thank you. All the Israelis in the audience. You know what Sababa is? Do you know what Sababa is? Okay, sorry. I'll take a break for 10 seconds. Sababa means, actually it comes from Arabic. And Sababa, I believe it comes from Arabic. Actually, Sababa means in Hebrew, cool. Sababa? Let's try that again. Sababa? Thank you. All right, cool. Or Sababa. Okay. Basic stuff. I'll skip this because we actually already discussed it, but that's basically the way it works. Now, we reside on AWS. Why? Because it's easy. And that's the same concept. We have nothing against any other cloud, and you should not have as well, but it's simply easier for us. And if we have some of our customers that say data regulation, lawful intercept, data privacy, we don't want Snowden to be able to listen to our calls and stuff like that, we also work in all kind of hybrid models based on data regulation and requirements. Which means that the platform, which as you saw a slide before, is agile and can be break down into models which are half here, half there. But that's a model that works for us. So it's a global reach with local access, in a nutshell. And that's important to provide both availability and quality of service. And remember, at the end of the day, the consumer, at the end, wants the user experience. He doesn't care that the carrier, all he did is provided his logo to white label an application. So that's part of our ability to work with all kind of carriers. Now, the second center of gravity, if you remember, beyond the technology, is to get ready where the minute will die. And it's dying. If someone haven't noticed, it is dying, right? Now, of course, still a lot of money is being generated today by carriers and enterprises on texting and voice, but it's going down and it's not going to pick up. So the carriers, and that's my observation, the carriers who are already in the mindset to understand that their business is fading away, and I mean putting into that basket also the international calls and the data roaming, are already starting to experiment mentally within the organization. They already said, okay, I need to get ready to the day where the minutes will die. So I want to be there with some scratches on my back and not trying to do it then. Now, I want to take you through a couple of examples, ideas that came up from talking to carriers and service providers. I guarantee you that some of these services will fail. As I said, some will be okay, some will be successful. And many of them I haven't thought of. And I'm pretty sure that I have no idea how to think of. But the concept is that we, by the way, not just us, we as a community of technology enablers, forward-looking, should provide the tools to the marketing gurus at the carriers and at the enterprises to develop the applications that will yield the revenues in the future. In the future, 6, 18, 24 months. Now, the first one that came across the board is payment transfer or financial services. And actually, payment transfer is just a very small subset, right? Why? Because, and I think just before me also he was talking about money, right? If I'm not mistaken. Right? It's a necessity. It's a necessity in the developed market and in the developing market. For example, one of our partners, Airtel, in Africa, they're doing more inflows on Airtel money than on minutes because there's no banking system. And you can actually get a car insurance. You can actually get financial service through your mobile phone, through the service. So actually the concept of money and the ability to utilize it is something which is core. Now, I'm pretty sure you're also aware that today many expats are transferring money back to their homeland, but family, right? I want to give you $10 to buy McDonald's. I want to give you $10 to my kids to go to the Luna Park, right? And so on. So that's one concept. The second concept is that now I have an e-wallet within my application as part of my service provider, then I can start monetizing in different ways. I can do communication, but I can do other stuff. I can, like we do in Australia with them too, you can pay your phone bill. You can pay your electricity bill. You can pay municipal taxes from the same place, right? So that's one form. Now, how you price it, how you build it, we take the responsibility together with our partners in the alliance to build the infrastructure. Wow, that's nice. Cool. And he has a helicopter there. And each carrier will implement in the way that is relevant for his market. So it's not replacing that. So that's one. Second, advertising. Now, advertising in all form, shape, and sorts. From ringback tone through in-app advertising, real-time mediation, offering wall, you name it. By the way, I have no idea which one will be successful. I do know that they are doing many experiments, and they want to do many more experiments on the ability to do real-time mediation into location plus contextual advertising. Will it be successful? I don't know. But I know that we are enabling the way to test and play with it and to try it. And the feedback will be very fast. And part of the responsibility of the alliance is to say, okay, Dean tried it in the UK. It was okay. What was successful was 1, 2, 3. So now we'll go to Airtel in India or M2 in Australia and tell them that's what Dean did and was successful. Therefore, we recommend you duplicate that. So we're able to share best practices or failures, to that matter. Zen Labs, for example, that's one of the things we're working on. You know what beacons? Everyone familiar with beacons? The concept? No. Beacons is a very overly simplified, low transmission beacon that you put in a retail, or the retail are putting And it's a location-based advertising. When you go near it, it's able to sense you, and based on your profile, to offer you promotion and advertising, right? That's really, really oversimplified manner to show it. And again, this is one of the services that are being asked by our partners to enable. We're enabling it across the platform. And again, you ask me, do you know if it's going to work? No, I don't. If it's going to be successful, maybe in China, yes, but in Japan with Nifty will be a miserable failure. Because culturally, Japan might not be the right country to do such a thing. Gaming. And again, one of our partners is Snail in China. It's a gaming company. And their view is completely from the gaming platform. We want to be able that I can invite you, as same as I invite you to play, to make a call with me or a text session, I can invite you to play chess with me, and I can watch you at the same time. That's the view of the Chinese market. Is it the same experience or cultural behavior in the US? Probably not. I'm on timing, I'm okay?
If you could finish in the next minute.
Next minute, I have about 40 slides. Only for, okay, productivity is the same concept, and premium content, we see a lot of demand for that. And one of the application, I'm going to take 2 minutes, if with your permission. Thank you. So I just want to show you one of the applications that we're doing today. Is audio? Audio?
I use pictures, text, effects, and music to tell a story.
One of the applications that we were developing
I can easily create and send a stitch from within candy-powered messaging apps like Fring or Airtel Talk. Now, my family can share this special moment with us. Capture and send life's best moments in motion.
You got the idea, right? So it's a collective roadmap that is being designed and developed together by everyone, and that's an important factor, that we're working with the carriers together, and they are actually part of the decision process of how we define the platform, both the candy and the features, that gives them ownership, that gives them ability to impact. And it's an apps economy, so we're moving together from the real-time communication economy into the apps economy. And that's almost a DNA change that they're going through together. And our commitment is to drive innovation and to drive value and to drive usage together with them. So really, in a nutshell, it's a joint effort. And it's an open garden effort. And we see a lot of traction and a very positive start. And we're going to have a lot of hiccups and fuck-ups and issues along the way. But it's very exciting. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Roy. That was great.